There's a moment in my life where I realized that I may not be the hero. I may not be the hero in everyone's story. I'm always going to be my own hero. I got to be. But the worst part is that I didn't even know that I was doing anything wrong. I mean, until after the fact. I'm just saying, You're listening to The Way Forward, and of course, this is Better Moody. So, coworker asked me the other day, where you been? I've been TDY. I've been in between Snowmageddons, part 1, part 2. The Elements Rage On. In theaters now. But I've been busy. I've been trying to make this life count and spend time with the fam. Truly spend time. I don't know if it's working. And clean. Need to clean. Nothing ever stays clean. And so yeah, my vacation time was spent deep cleaning, one room at a time. And let me tell you, when the house is dirty, it doesn't matter how big it is. It just feels like a mansion. You look at it and you're like, oh man, I wish I had a better place. And then when you got to clean it, you're like, shit, this is more than enough. I don't need any more. I could probably live with one room. But a day for every main room. And it's better. The conditions are livable now. But someone still needs to do the laundry and take out the trash. I was looking. It's like, yep, the rooms are functional. They're set up properly. They actually look like living spaces. But damn, that trash and laundry never quit. So my vacation ended, womp womp, and then the snow hit, and we're snowed in. At first I thought, yay, snow day. But a snow day in Massachusetts is not the same as a snow day in Alabama. In Alabama, a couple flakes fall to the ground, and whether or not the birds are outside chirping or not, everything will come to a screeching halt. We did have a really big snowstorm once, and everybody was on their people don't stop, right? They were on their ATVs. That was the best winter ever in Alabama. But here in Massachusetts, man, give them like a good 4 hours. They're still outside in that blizzard, plowing and scraping and shoveling. My neighbor across the street, he threw his shovel. Saw him slipping and sliding, and I was like, well, I have a good view on the second floor. Is it a story? Second story, whatever. It doesn't seem like the place is big enough to call it a upstairs. Upstairs seems sufficient, right? Anything else is larger than what I want to clean. Yeah, I was looking out the window though of my son's bedroom, and just one of those neighbors in my robe staring out the curtains, and I see the guy struggling, and he just threw a shovel and went back inside, and I was like, yep, I needed a cup of coffee right then, but it was a good show. But the whole family was on spring break together. We're snowed in at the end of it. So I was subjected to another 2 to 3 days together in lovingly close proximity with the family that I love, that I created from my ovaries. And I did it all by myself. Ovaries. I made 2 daughters and a boy, all with my own willpower and ovaries. Just playing. I mean, I'm just going to take the credit because who's going to say otherwise? It's all me. All me. But yeah, this was a petri dish, a social experiment. We were just brewing. Something was bound to happen. So, what happened? Well, I'm supposed to be working now because, again, Massachusetts doesn't quit. The roads are cleared up, but not enough. It's still snowing, so we're working from home. And I do have things set up properly. But when you have little kids hanging off of you like spider monkeys, it does make it hard to type, to hold a serious conversation. You got little gigglies on you. But I mean, that's not the bad part, right? That's lovable. But then when things get tense or there's something serious happening and you gotta focus, forget about it. And that's what happened. Everyone was hitting me up and they needed, I took over a new role and everyone needed something. And I'm moving at a snail's pace, trying to look through this, standard operating procedures, the regulations, the information, trying to get them what they need. And I was not making the cut, we'll say. So I got that pressure on my back. I'm like, gotta answer. And then I got a sweet 10-year-old to my left periphery. And she's like, hey, Mom, watch this. I want you to watch this TikTok. This is funny. You're going to love it. And I'm like, So I responded. Not explosively, but with controlled wisdom. And I said, dear sweet child, I'm sitting in my PJs, staring at a desk in this separate room. I turn from my chair and focus on work-related things, and I give her my undivided attention. And I say, sweet darling, now isn't a good time to communicate with Mom. I've got pressure. Life is hard. Work needs to happen so that we can keep the lights on. And someone's got to do this job. I'm going to need you to allow me the time and the space to accomplish these tasks, and then we'll sit down together by the fireplace in the rocking chair. I'll cuddle you, you'll look up lovingly at me, and we'll have a moment. We'll share these things, these life moments. Yeah, no, that's not what happened. I wish I didn't lose it. I wish I handled it like a pro and juggled, all of my duties with loving kindness. But what really went down was I threw my hands up and I said, not right now. Not right now. Go upstairs. Everybody go upstairs and don't come down. And then my oldest daughter came. Everybody's wide-eyed, right? Because they don't expect Mom to lose her shit. And it's very rare when I do. But they're like, okay. Yeah, sure. And my oldest daughter, she came to ask me about some food. And bless her heart, she was just trying to do right by everyone because, I'm not cooking lunch. So she says, hey, I'm going to grab some food. What would you like, Mom? We want to make sure that you're taking care of Mom. And I'm like, I don't care. Do what you got to do. Make it happen. Just not right now. And that's probably even a more nicer version because why would I expose my ugly side? I probably looked like this wildebeest on all fours, just huffing and heaving, my lower jaw pushed out, and you seeing all the damn teeth, and just like a rabid creature. Yeah, that's probably, and I already look crazy because I didn't have to get ready for work. So my hair is sticking out. It's actually piled up on the top of my head. There's little strays. That's not a regular for me, hairs that won't stick down. Not a good look. And this anger that I have inside, it used to protect me. I think those moments that boil up inside of you, you're playing a sport, or you're in some field of study, or you're in some competitive mode, and that works. You use that anger, you channel it, you protect yourself, you stay sharp, you're focused, you're determined, and you get respect from those around you because they see that you're in the zone. But when you got a family, being in the zone is something completely different, and you can't just block everything and focus like an Olympian. There's different medals to be found and had, right? But we strive to stay in control. Sometimes it slips, but there is still a time and place, I will argue, for anger, but just not. So what happens when that thing that's inside of you, that wildebeest, the crazed, angry, rabid, drooling, frightening horror scene of a demon within you decides to surface, that thing that was protecting you previously starts hurting the tender little hearts of the people that you love. Well, then you start trying to justify that story, right? You rewrite the story of the villain. You are now Maleficent. Like, you only saw this side of Sleeping Beauty from her eyes, but the truth is, she was a tortured soul. She has a background, and something made her this way. You're Elphaba, right? You're from Wicked, There's goodness within. That's the duplicity of being an adult, right? Never 100% good or bad like portrayed in the movies at a theater near you. So the real true story of mom is that mom fucks up sometimes. And I did. I yelled. And it was one of those things that no matter, those moments that no matter what context you're in, you could be in court and you could just be the most innocent person. Like you weren't even near the scene of the crime. You were in another continent, feeding the needy and building schools and medical facilities and doing missionary work in another foreign land. And then you're in court being charged and accused of something you had no part of. I mean, it was just a whole different time zone. But you yelled, you raised your voice. So guess what? No, now that verdict is leaning toward guilty. Sorry, ma'am. You just look guilty. You act like a guilty person. You act like you're in the wrong. So life. Put her away, lock her up. But, at least that's what it seems like. So now I don't want to kill that part of me that drives me and keeps me in motion. I do have a competitive side, but I deny it. I deny it all the time. But it's what built me and helped me to survive in this life. So I just don't want it running the house. So do you know the story? I talked about it, being rabid. Old Yeller. Do you ever notice how people don't remember the beginning of the show, they just remember the end? And to be honest with you, I don't even remember most of it right now. But the gun, the silence. There's a boy standing there trying to be brave. That's what people remember. That's what I remember. But, the beginning of the story, in the beginning, this dog, he was a stray. He was scrappy, little untamed, wild-eyed, and he didn't belong to anybody until he did. He found himself a family, or happened upon a family. And he guarded the house. He fought off wolves. He took hits that weren't meant for the family. And he wasn't gentle. He wasn't polished, but he was loyal. And that's something. And that loyalty, it made him dangerous. It made him great until something changed. So Womp womp. Sometimes it's a disease. You're foaming at the mouth. Your eyes just look different. In other contexts, sometimes it's mental. Sometimes it's inability to self-regulate. I'm just saying in my case. But the movements become sharp. And thing that gets you when you watch that is that he didn't know. He didn't wake up and decide that he was going to turn, you know. Something invisible to him got him. It got into him. So the same teeth that once kept the wolves away became the thing that, began to hurt the family. So he had to take a step back. And nobody wants to think about those things, how something can be both the protector and a blessing in a certain situation, but then a problem in another. A knife is really awesome if you have it and you can, facing away from you. But if you accidentally fall on that bee, problems. So after protecting that family from the wolf, little rough, little doggy, well, he's a big dog, he got bit. And poor guys, man. Animals are so expendable. And they do so much. They care so much. They're doing the most. And then, but everyone hopes he's going to be okay. And then they wait, they watch for the signs, but the symptoms, they come. He is not okay. He changes and then he starts snarling and lunging, foaming at the mouth. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, that's me. His eyes aren't the same. And then the young boy who loves them the most realizes what has to happen there. His father is at home. There's no one else to do it. So this little guy takes the rifle and he stands on business. So it's a coming of age moment about responsibility, right? It's about loving something enough to do that hard thing. Now I say that, and that's why people remember the silence after the shot, because it isn't just about a dog dying. It's about a boy growing up. And it's an unbearable moment, but it's something that you have to get through. You work through. And it's a moment when, in my situation, maybe kids can see that we as parents are human too. So one day, you're no longer Travis, the boy. Growing up, you transition and maybe you even become Old Yeller. So you're that grown up in the house, the protector, the one that's holding everything down, holding the line. And sometimes you realize that you're just a kid inside a bigger body, or your role changes. So you're still learning, you're still reactive, and you're still imperfect. Adults, they don't just wake up and everything's figured out. You don't just hit 21 and then boom, you know all the things. You know what to do. It just doesn't work that way. And you don't have all the knowledge. You continue moving forward and growing. We're just kids. We're just kids who got taller, louder, a few more wrinkles, a couple more experiences that, a couple more high fives, awards to pin on the uniform of life. So if I lose my temper sometimes, if I snap before I soften and remember who I am and who I'm talking to, then I'm just saying, don't put me out behind the shed just yet. I'm not a wash, okay? It's not over. I'd like to think I'm a little less expendable than a doggy. But also, we love our dogs. Just saying. So, okay, so there's a clip that's going around. It's from Key and Peele. Key and Peele skit. Love those dudes. Vanna showed me later. and after the fact, right? She's smart. She likes to live. She's not going to try and show me this joke or this skit or attempt to do it while I'm losing my shit. But, after I'm done heaving and foaming at the mouth and all this, you don't see the red around my eyes anymore. Then she swings in for the joke, and this is what she was trying to share with me. So let me see. Hang on.
Shut up, Mom! Silence from you. Okay, you're cut off from talking.
Can you imagine if I had actually seen that in the moment? There would be like a little asterisk, a black asterisk on the floor where my daughter was previously. Oh man. I love my babies though. This is Better Moody, and I'm still around. Getting things done, getting ready to PCS, probably to the same spot. But I'm here. And I'll see you in the next episode.